really nice session and taking an hour out of your day. We really appreciate it. So I think to start off, it'd be nice to introduce you to the speakers. So yeah, take it away, guys.
All right, so welcome to our session. Leticia, if you can scroll down just a bit as we share our graphics to introduce ourselves. So a little history on kind of where this started. We submitted this session as a People's Choice session for ISTE, Philadelphia, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And it was accepted, and it was so much fun. And it got accepted to ISTE this time, first round. And today we've invited a new voice, a very important voice to join us today, Leticia. So we're really excited to hear what she has to share about Wakelet. And we're each going to share a few ways that we use it in our roles and to hopefully inspire you. And then we're going to save the end for you to share and ask questions and amplify your voices. So let's start with introductions. My name is Amy Storr. I am an instructional coach in Montgomery, Texas. That's about an hour north of Houston. I'm also the lead tech integration mentor for my district. Huge fan of Wakelet. You can see there I have embedded a Buncee directly into Wakelet, which is a newer feature they have. And if you can kind of see the stars are blinking, you can see the actual graphics move. So if you're a Buncee user and a lover of Buncee like I am, that's a cool thing that you can do with Wakelet now. But I'm happy to be here and excited to share the ways that I have recently used Wakelet, specifically during remote learning. Take it away, Christina.
Hi, Christina Holzweiss. I'm an EdTech specialist librarian from Long Island, New York. And I've been using Wakelet for quite some time also. And I'm so glad to be part of this awesome rockstar team. I host the Twitter chats, the monthly Wakelet Wave Twitter chats, and we've gone international. So Eileen also does it, the Twitter chat on the other time zone. So I'm in the States, and she does the Eastern and Western time zones. So you can check us out. We're Wakelet Wave. There's information about me, and I'm really happy to really share Wakelet. I just actually shared it with some colleagues today, and everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid. Everyone's excited. So, all right, and pass it to Brad.
Oh, you're muted, Brad.
The golden voice is muted.
Working now? Okay, good. All right. Well, first of all, I wanted to say it's great to have so many people joining us, and it's great to be with Amy and Christina. Leticia, it's great to finally meet you. So I am I'm an technology educator, and I work mainly with kindergarten through fourth grade. And I'm really excited to use Wakelet. As soon as I saw it being shared, I thought, what a great way to share with others. That's what I do a lot. Every week I share resources, and it's a great and easy way to share with my faculty and some others. And I want to apologize. I'm in my car right now because we had some really bad storms roll through, and the only place that I could connect was my local elementary school. So that's why I'm in my car right now. So, but I thought it was a fun way to join everybody. I would have felt bad if I wouldn't have been part of it. So, thank you so much.
All right, and now it is my turn. Hey everyone, I'm Leticia Citizen. I am an I4 coach in Beverly Hills Unified School District in California. And I just really love connecting, networking, and sharing with all of you amazing educators. And I have to say thank you to Amy for inviting me to be part of this panel that I get to also work with Christina and meeting Brad for the first time. And so I'm really excited to really share about the Wakelet Wave and how I use it with my teachers. So, hi Tisha. Let's get started.
All right, so I'm going to start, we're going to share the top 10 ways, and I'm going to start by sharing a couple of ways that I've just recently started using Wakelet. When I presented this at ISTE, I shared how you could use it for subplans, and the other one was how my campus and district, I think it was the first Wakelet that I ever created, was a Wakelet that curated all the different links that our parents, teachers, and students frequently visited. And so we have a spot on our campus pages and our district page that has all those links. And so those are the two ways that I shared previously, but I did want to share two new ones based on how remote learning went recently, just to inspire you to possibly use it as well, because we don't know what the fall is going to look like. So these are some examples of some ways that I used it as an instructional coach. So the first way, this one just went live. We just sent this out 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago. The way that we do our summer professional development, the way we've done it in the past, is of course in person. We are doing it all virtual this summer. This is the time when teachers are getting their hours and growing and learning. And so myself and a secondary and instructional coach built individual Wakelets that has all the different sessions that teachers can attend during the summer on their own time. So it's like PD in your PJs. So elementary, the way that we set this up is at the very top of the Wakelet, I put a video of myself using the shorts feature from Flipgrid to explain to the teachers how to get started. And we've broken it up into categories. So language arts, social studies, science, math, tech integration, special education, gifted and talented, you name it, ELL, ESL, it's all listed here. And so what teachers do when they come here is they're going to click on the title, and that's so they can register in what our district uses, which is called Eduphoria. It's just a way to keep track of hours. So they sign in here, they register, and then they go back to the Wakelet, and that's where they do the work. So in the Wakelet, we've included a link to a webinar, a YouTube video, a link to somewhere for them to watch and learn and grow. Once they have completed that, they will come back to the Wakelet, and there's a link that says survey for credit. And that will take them to a Microsoft form where they select the session. Leticia, if you'll go back to that Wakelet form, and you can X out of the YouTube one. And, or maybe she's frozen.
Oh.
So imagine you can see this. Oh, there it goes. They're going to click on the link that says survey for credit, and it's going to take him here to a Microsoft form, and which looks like you have to sign into because she's not a part of my district. So imagine you can see this. It will be a list of all the sessions. The teacher clicks the session. It then takes them to 1 to 2 questions for them to fill out. I get an alert in my email that I can go and give them credit in Eduphoria. So just a way for teachers to have one spot to go to versus many to find all the different ways they can grow and learn as a teacher during the summer and earn credit hours. So that's one way that we just, like I said, just sent out to teachers a couple days ago. Another way that I used it during remote learning is for choice boards. And this isn't a new thing when it comes to Wakelet, but a good one to remind you of. So I loved using Wakelet for this purpose because it was all in one spot. The children could access a Flipgrid to put information in. They could see PDFs, watch a video. So this is an example of just one that I created for our district. This was a district-wide gifted and talented differentiation choice board, which was accessible to any child, but it had different activities for kids to do. We changed it up every other week. We updated. So we would put things in like virtual field trips via Skype, Lego challenges. We did maker challenges. We found different things while researching to put on here for kids to access for differentiation. So this was one way that we utilized it for choice boards, like I said, but this is perfect for classroom teachers to use as well for choice boards, because like I said, everything you need to put on a choice board is here. All the different things, like I said, text, video, PDFs. You can link it up to your Microsoft OneDrive or your Google Drive, images. It's, I say this about all kinds of tools that I love, like Bunsy. It's a one-stop shop. It's got everything you need for your kids to access. You know, we sent out a survey to our parents to get their feedback about remote learning, and a lot of the feedback related to, like, we need it all in one spot. We're having to go here and click this link and having it in one space for parents to access and students is beneficial. So those are two ways that I've just recently used Wakelet in relation to remote learning. Next up.
All right. Well, next up is going to be me. These were ones that I shared previously. And I have to say the ability here to, as it says there, to collaborate with others without them needing an account. And that's really, that's been really beneficial, especially for those at times that aren't ready maybe to sign on, or they're not sure what Wakelet is. I can share something with them one-on-one, or I can share it with them, let's just say over Twitter, things like that. And they could see my collection, and then they could go ahead and they could join it. So if the video does play through, if it doesn't with DC, that's totally fine. So what has been really helpful is the fact that recently I went to a wedding, and let's see if it, don't worry about it, Leticia, that's totally fine. Went to a wedding, and everybody got together, and I said, look, this would be a really cool thing to be able to share all the photos, videos, other items with each other, and have it in one collection that everybody could look back on later in time. Because a lot of times it's hard to go back into an email, or it's hard to go back into text or things like that. With the ability to collaborate and work together, it makes it so much easier. And that's just for a wedding. I mean, my daughter made one for her birthday wishes that were just coming up, and she shared it with others. And then she didn't go back and look at it, but people would remove it when it was done. And so they knew that those things were already purchased. So that has been awesome. Another one, and school related, is dealing with, especially in fourth grade where I work, we always do state reports. And a lot of times students need to obviously work together with the ability that if I'm in charge, if I create the collection and then share it, because they are under 13, if I share that with them, they can go in, they can join as a contributor, they can add on the information, and they can all work together in one nice space. So it's been really, really, really easy for that and really beneficial. The next one is this. This one had me from the very beginning, and it was saving links and sites for a later viewing convenience. So the extension and the app, 100%, I tell everybody to add it. And the reason why is, let's just say you're on Twitter. So Leticia, if you could scroll down just a little bit, there should be one, hopefully it's called future blog post. Maybe it didn't go through for whatever reason, because again, I'm in my car, so I apologize, had really bad storms blow through. So the reason, so what I use a lot, because I see a lot of things that people share that's out there, and I want to be able to, sorry about the sirens in the background. I really want to be able to, if I see something, say Amy or Christina or Leticia share something really cool, but I don't have time to dive into it, I want to share that later on. So I have it on my app, and I share it directly into the app, and I call it future blog posts. So I know to go back, and if I'm looking for something to blog about later on, I can find it. Or if I find something, let's just say interesting, let's just say sports. If I find something really interesting or something really funny, I'm a big fan of dad jokes. Let's say I find a really good dad joke, if there are good dad jokes, which there are. I'll share it into something that I call dad jokes. And then whenever somebody needs something, it's right there and easy to go.
Hey, Brad, I can show right here on my computer. I have the extension.
Oh, awesome. That would be great.
And of course, it's not working because we wanted to, right?
So there it is. And it's easy. So you're on whatever site it is.
There it goes.
Yeah, you can instantly click on it. You could create a new collection. You could save it to one that's already been created. I mean, they can't make it any easier to keep yourself organized with these things. And it really is, I gotta say, out of all the years that I've been doing this, Wakelet and the ability to do this has helped me more than anything. And I think helped teachers as well, because they can revert back to say, oh, Brad, you shared that recently in a Wakelet, and they'll go back, find it. Or I'll say, hey, this was in a collection. Here you go. Take a look. Here it is. So I cannot say enough about the benefits to Wakelet, their extension, the app, and also just a little plug for them. They are by far, I think, the kindest group of people you will ever meet and work with from the get-go. So I just wanted to give them a little shout out. And if you ever have questions, you can reach out to them on Twitter. Extremely responsive, and and that's why I came out today in the middle of a huge storm and decided to do this, because how much they mean to me. So And that's all I have. Thanks, Leticia, for scrolling for me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I just want to say you're right, Brad. When we went to ISTE and when the Wakelet guys came, it was like the Beatles, right? Right? Seeing everyone walk down the hallway with the Wakelet t-shirts, we were hugs all around. We were like, oh my gosh, they're here. When people came to that session, you're right. They're some of the hardest working and kindest people out there. So shout out to them. Before I talk about my 3 ways, I'm going to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Yvonne Perez. Yvonne Perez is a school librarian on Long Island, and she told me that she was asked to be on the reopening committee for her district, which I think is really important because school librarians need to be at the table. And so she didn't know what her role would be. What could she do? So she created a Wakelet of resources and of all that she could find based on the topics that they were discussing, and is sharing that out. So I'm going to give a plug to Yvonne Perez, who's a brand new user who's found a way to connect with her administrators. So here are my 3 ways. Number 5, it says create multimedia digital reading logs. I was an English teacher for 9 years. I've been a school librarian and ed tech specialist for much longer. And when I was a kid, I loved reading, and I still love reading now, but it's like writing down the number of pages that you read and how many, and answering questions and things like that. It could be boring, uninspiring, and more like a chore than fun. So I was like, well, let's do multimedia reading logs. So if you scroll down a little bit, Leticia, here's all the information about it. But if you scroll down, there's an actual link to a reading log, and you can make a copy of this reading log template. So you can just click that and you can make your own copy, take out whatever you don't need. It has instructions and it has ideas. So if you scroll down a little bit more, it gives you the instructions and it gives you what you can put in there. So your kids can interact with what they read with putting a photo, putting a video. They can curate their own resources related to the book. So if, let's say they're reading a book in school and they want to bring in other resources and discuss them, they can talk about it. They can make something, they can code something, they can use Scratch, they can use Seesaw, anything, just like Amy did with her Bunsy. You can create a Bunsy or something else and put it in. And if you're a teacher looking for the traditional list of writing prompts, here's a list of writing prompts. So again, you can just make a copy of this, press copy, and there you go, and create this reading log for your kids. If you scroll up a little bit, Leticia, I do want to show the immersive reader on this. Unless you want to show that with your newsletter, Leticia. I don't know if you're going to show that. Okay.
No, go ahead.
So immersive reader is really awesome. So if you press that little button right there, it will read the text that your child or student has written in the Wakelet collection. So I really think that's powerful. You could see that part of it is like, quote unquote, but it will read and it will translate into 68 different languages and read many of them. So your English language learners can write in their own language and you could still understand what it is. So I really love that about the digital reading logs. 2 more ways I have for you are, if you're going to scroll down some more, start your own blog or vlog. I love the fact that you can embed Wakelet. So if you go down here, there's a little video. After that explanation, there's a little video, and it shows you that you can actually take the Wakelet and get the embed code. So you can go right ahead, Leticia, and you could play that little video. There's a little bit of music. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but that's okay. So this is just a blog that I had written about celebrating reading, but it will show you that once you create this, you can go up and you can get the embed code. Now, if you don't want to embed it in your website, that's fine. You could just take this and make that be your blog or vlog. And just like Leticia, someone showed about the Flipgrid video, right? You could put that right in there. You could do the same thing here. So here you could grab the embed code and just put it on your website. You don't have to copy it. You don't have to redo anything. All right, and there's just a little video. You could choose the cover image, the border, all those things. So that's the second way. And let's see, what is another way, Letitia, we had on that list? I think the next way was I had archive Twitter chats. So I do the Twitter chat every month. And so we archive them with Wakelet. So if you just go here, you'll see all the tweets from this Wakelet from May 21st, our very last one. And you could see that we archive them. And if you miss the chat, you could just go scroll through and you could look at all the chat. As long as I could do it by user, I could also do it by hashtag. And I can also add to them at any time. So if you want to go through your Twitter chats, that's fine. And you can even share this with somebody else, even if they're not on Twitter. They could take a look at it. I think I had one more. I think I had the next one was, oh yeah. So if you follow me, if you go to my Wakelet, you don't have to open it, Letitia, but if you open my Wakelet, you'll see all of the Twitter chats. And then if you go to the other link, it will show how I embedded the Twitter chats into my website using the embed code. So that's another way. And you can share your Wakelet collections with QR codes. So Brad, taking your idea about the wedding, you can create a Wakelet and then take that QR code and you can buy a bracelet. You could make a t-shirt. You could do anything with that QR code and you could share all those celebration messages and videos and pictures through Wakelet, but that QR code. So every Wakelet comes with its QR code.
Brilliant.
So,
awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So
cool. That's really cool.
Right. And then, so what you could do is you could start the Wakelet, make your gift, bring it to the birthday party, whatever, and keep adding to it even after the party's over. And your Wakelet will magically appear. So they can
that one's cool. I like that one.
Like that one? So you can wait.
With the way that people can't really have the birthday parties or whatever parties they may be, graduation parties, to be able to keep adding on to that's pretty special.
That is pretty awesome.
Hey, Christina, before we let our buddy Leticia start, there was a question earlier about how you added the moving water to the background of our Wakelet. And so since you did that, I'm going to let you answer that question probably better than I did.
This is one of my favorite little things about Wakelet is when you edit the collection, your cover can be a GIF and your background could be a GIF. So I love that. You can find your own GIFs on Giphy or wherever you like, or you can make your own GIFs and put them in. Hint, hint, I keep plugging for a Wakelet library of GIFs, just saying, plug. Because your cover, if you're new to Wakelet, you don't even have to find it's coming.
Oh.
Happy day. I'm surfing now. So you don't even have to put up your own picture if you don't want to. You can quickly make one and just edit the collection, add something from the library. But if you upload a GIF, it will be in your background. We just picked a nice calming water one, not to confuse you and make it very crazy. But hi, Eileen. Sorry, I saw Eileen on the chat. So that's how you do it.
All right, so I have number 9 and number 10. And so for number 9, I love to use Wakelet for my as part of my weekly EdTech newsletters that I share with my teachers and with some of my teacher friends on Twitter and on my website. And so what I do is every week I create just a quick newsletter that has like maybe 3 different things on there, whether it's classroom activities that they can use, upcoming PD opportunities, resources, whatever that is. And there's also a link there for my calendar. But every week I do this, but every month I highlight a different platform to create my newsletters on. So for the month of August and September, it was Wakelet, of course. And so you can see here that my letters, I call them app-pilling learning, play on words there. And so you can see here that I created this actually in Buncee, another one of my favorite tools that I love to app smash with Wakelet. In my background, again, also with Buncee. And so I just kind of go through, I always link where my newsletters are all housed for teachers to access. You can see here too that it says like copied from an original collection, because all I have to do is then make a copy of the previous Wakelet that I have, and then I can just go in and change the things that I need to change for whatever I'm going to add new. So again, I have like the topic I created in Ubuntu. So this is classroom activities, and this was around celebrating Dot Day. So I always write like a little blurb. You can see here that this links to some activities that I have on my website for my teachers to access that connect to Dot Day. And then there's always like an image that I can include here, or maybe there's a presentation or a Flipgrid or something that I can add extra for teachers to access. Again, here's the second part, district ed tech platform. So focusing on what we're doing in our district as a whole. Again, the little blurb, and then I always try to include like an image that's there. Then here's some PD opportunities, highlighting Q, which is an affiliate of ISTE, but Q in California, just updating, you know, keeping our teachers abreast of what's going on, what opportunities are there. And then there's always the let's collaborate, so that way teachers can connect with me and they can sign up for my calendar. So just a great way for me to share with teachers. And again, like I said, then I take those newsletters, like the ones that I created for, on Wakelet, and I actually house them on my website. So I use Bulb to house all of my newsletters. And so you'll see that they're all here. So teachers can actually just come here and see everything and see the Wakelet as well. I think because I'm logged in, it's not letting me like, oh, there it goes. So you can see it's embedded here on this website, so teachers can access everything here. So that's my number 9. And then my number 10 is definitely using Wakelet for my EduConference notes. So I know many of you, like myself, like I would always go to a Google Doc and I would like type up all my information there, and then you got to like play around with the links and make sure that you got images and upload and blah, 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 all that stuff. But like, hello, Wakelet is there. Why aren't we using this? So when I go to a conference, especially because a lot of my teachers can't attend, it's not only for my own personal use, but also I can share this Wakelet collection with my teachers afterwards. So when I attended FETC this year, I was part of the coaching collab strand that was there. And so sorry, my internet's kind of slow. So what I did was I have this up, and this is where you can see like there's 26 items there. Okay, there we go. And so I'll include like the presentation that the presenters shared with us. I have my title, which also links to additional activities that the presenter had us to engage with. But then I can also go ahead and just take my notes. And then I can upload pictures. So that way it's all in one place. I don't, and I have my phone nearby, so that way I'm taking those images and I hurry up and I share them on my computer or put them on the Wakelet. And so it's all here for myself to also go back to, but also my teachers. And they can go ahead and I can share this with them. And all my notes are there. Again, there's links to whatever was going on at that time. There's videos that they might have shared that I hurry up and found, which is nice on Wakelet because you can just go ahead. That's one of the options to choose YouTube. And so I can find those videos and bring them in. Again, there's links there. And so it's all there, again, not only for myself, but I can just go ahead and share it straight away with my teachers. Here's another conference that I attended. Again, I, go ahead and take my notes and make sure to include all the resources. And then I just go ahead and share it with my teachers. So I don't have to go all these different places. And again, with Wakelet, the beauty of like automatically having that option of bringing in a YouTube video or bringing in an image or linking it to another website, whatever that is. And so it's all here for everyone to access.
It's really nice, Leticia, if you don't mind for a second, with YouTube, it's just the video that goes in. It's not, the stuff beforehand or related afterwards, which is really great for sharing with anyone, really.
Yeah, no, Facebook, yeah, definitely. We don't have to worry about those ads, all the mushy stuff, especially for our students, right? Like if we're creating or curating a resource for them to like access and use for learning, well, we want to take out all the extra stuff, and we don't, that's time that we need to keep their minds occupied. We don't need it blocked down, but blocked down by all the like extra stuff. So yes, thanks for pointing that out, Brad.
Sure.
All right. Do we have any questions? James.
Yes. As you can probably guess, there's a lot of questions at the minute. It's quite dark on my screen actually. Let me sort out the lighting in a second. But yeah, I just want to say from myself, like even I learned a lot during this session, just listening to the examples. I love how great the examples are, but also how varied they are as well. Whether you're a teacher in kindergarten or a librarian or whatever, you can use Wakelet in all these ways that we're showing here. So thank you for making examples so varied there. So there's a few questions that I've written down. I don't know who wants to take these ones. But the first one is, I can't remember who it was from, but someone was asking, how does Wakelet compare to a HyperDoc? I don't know who wants to take that one, but yeah, over to you.
I have not used a HyperDoc before, so I'm going to pass that mic to somebody else.
Well, so I've used HyperDocs, and I actually use Wakelet as like one of the platforms to house my HyperDoc, because it does allow for my students to like go through, even with my teachers, like I've created PDs where they've gone through a HyperDoc. And so just like all those pieces that we have for HyperDoc, right, to engage them, to allow them to share, to reflect, like you can do that definitely right here on a HyperDoc. Right here on a Wakelet, that it will function the same way, because you can include those links. You can still give them choices about like how they want to display the information that they're learning. So I always look at Wakelet as a place that can also function to allow me to create that HyperDoc. To me, they're same thing, like if I'm using a doc.
Right. I think again, the game changer for me is that immersive reader.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just make the HyperDoc in the Wakelet, and now with the Screencastify and with Flipgrid, you don't need to go anywhere else.
Right. I was going to say, with that Flipgrid, it's just so great to be able to do a short right there, explain what you're thinking, let people know exactly what's in here, keep it nice and short. And then the kids or whomever can just watch that and have a quick explanation before they even take a look at what's in the collection.
Yeah, our session today is a HyperDoc, right?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Well, like I said as well, like we've got probably around 20 more minutes as well. So everyone in the chat, please get your questions in. We have 4 awesome educators here who will answer your burning questions. So get them in the next 20 minutes as we go through this Q&A. One other one that popped up was to do with the QR codes, obviously with the jewelry idea, which was such an incredible idea as well, and the wedding idea as well, and birthdays. How can you do that on Wakelet? Do you want to quickly show how to actually pull the QR code up?
Sure. Letitia, do you know how to do that?
Yeah. So go to the share.
It's right? That easy.
I'm like, so for those of you that missed it, here we go again. So I'm here on the Wakelet. Go up to share, click share. There it is. I mean, definitely, I would screenshot it or screen collect it, and it's there. Saved as a JPEG. I mean, am I missing something? Like,
no, that's perfect. Okay. Honestly, thank you very much. And then just one more question, probably from me and everyone else is thinking. So you obviously used collaboration to put this collection together, right? Do you kind of want to explain the process of how you did it, but then also how it was from the 4 of you?
So this was very similar to last time when we did the People's Choice. I don't think we met. Unless I'm not remembering correctly. I don't think we met. Maybe on the phone, where we didn't really do like a Skype or a Zoom. Oh. I just started the collection, and whenever if it's public, you can share it a link for others to collaborate. And so I was able to build this Wakelet collection and then share that collaboration link with my buddies here. And when they log on, they're able to go in and manipulate and add, much like an original user would. Or creator. And so that's really the 4 of us, other than Leticia and I visiting this morning. We visited through Twitter, sometimes Facebook, sometimes text message. And then here we are today for our session. And it works great because you can easily do what we, I think we had planned on somehow Zooming or Skyping, but there's a few of us that are still in school right now, still have kids and obligations, and there's some that don't have. So it was so easy to just have that collaboration feature where you could do it without having to take up too much time from others. And it really did, once again, worked seamlessly for us and Leticia coming in as well to get it all put together. Like I said, with very little interaction face to face.
So you'll notice here on this Wakelet, it says created by Tech Amy's, right? This is Amy's, this is her Wakelet, but you'll notice right here, it says edit collection. So I'm a collaborator. And so because she gave me access to that link, once I went in, I can click edit collection. And now it opens up. And sorry, my internet is like really slow right now, of course. So you'll notice too that anything that is added by someone, it acknowledges that that author of that piece that was added. And the cool thing is I can't change I can't change whatever Amy just added on here or what Christina added or Brad. Now I could move it to another location, but I can't edit this at all. So you'll notice like every edition that's included on this Wakelet, you'll notice who the original author is. And so as soon as we finish and as you're adding, you'll see on the right hand corner, it will show like saved or lets you know that it is saving, which is a nice addition that we recently got, right? On Wakelet where it automatically starts to save. But the other thing is that while, let's say Christina and Brad Christina and Brad are also on here adding, we won't see each other's additions, and neither will Amy until we go and click done. So we have to come up here and click done in the upper right hand corner. And once that happens, then you'll see the new additions.
Just to add in there, Leticia, what Leticia's talking about, we'll actually change on Wakelet very soon. So one of the announcements from Wakelet Live was that in the future, very, very soon, you will be able to collaborate in real time as well. So as Leticia's saying there, at the moment, you do have to click done and then you can see everyone's changes. When you're editing, you'll be able to see that people are adding in real time.
Cool.
So that'll be a game changer.
Yes, definitely.
Leticia, do you want to, is there a possibility, could you show how to share with others that maybe don't have an account or for those that are under 13, you know, when you go into the share over there to the left? Oh, maybe it wasn't share. What was it? The 3 dots. I'm sorry.
Is it 3 dots? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. You know what? I can't because this is Amy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Imagine that you can see a button that says share with collaborators.
Well, you know what? Maybe I can go into one of mine.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a good idea.
Well, if you press edit too, well, if the share button is to share the link, everyone, to just look at the presentation. When you go into contributors, you can use either the link or the code. There's 2 different ways to do it.
There it is. So you have the contributor link. And it tells you anyone with access can join. And there's that QR code again. So this is definitely something that you use. Go ahead.
This is when they, and you can see, you can go either via name or email in the upper right. What's really nice is they don't have to join, but they do have to when they go in. So if you have, you know, a couple 10-year-olds working on this together, they still have to put their name in there. And it would show up of what they contributed. So one student isn't doing all the work. It actually shows who's doing what, which is always a nice thing to see from a teacher point of view.
Right. And then there's also the nice thing that you can manage contributors. So if you had others contributing to this, they would also populate here. So that's really cool.
And I like the you can.
I'm sorry, Christina. Like Leticia's example of the newsletter, this past school year, well, past school year for me, we did a monthly newsletter where myself, my principal, my AP, my counselor, and my librarian all collaborated on one Wakelet, and then we sent it out at the first of the month. So that's a great way to all come together to build a newsletter for your campus or your district, and it worked very well for all of us to use it together.
Well, what I was going to say was that I saw also that you could regenerate a new link. So if you find that you've given that link out to kids to use and for some reason you need to change the link, you could regenerate a new one and a new code. And so they won't have access with that old one anymore.
Yeah. Also sharing too, just real quickly, the using Google Classroom, it makes it so easy to share directly into Classroom. So if you just click on share there, and then you can see those options right in there. You have Remind, you have Teams, you have Classroom. Just that ability to instantly share right away. Just it's a time saver, and it's awesome. So it's really appreciated.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And then I think one more kind of, not question really, you've shown a lot of examples of how to use Wakelet, but there's one that's been right in front of our eyes, which is using Wakelet to present. So you guys have clearly used the Wakelet collection to present. Can you explain how you do that and how that's better than maybe another tool?
Yeah, I've been using Wakelet. When I first discovered it, I started playing around with it as a presentation tool, and I really liked it because of all the different things you could bring in and tie into it. And it was easy to share, of course. Lots of platforms like that are easy to share, but I love using it as a presentation platform, and it's kind of my go-to now between this and Buncee on how I share. But yeah, it's a great way to present information to teachers, to students, to parents. Yeah, perfect tool for that.
And the new feature to scroll through photos makes it a lot easier when you're presenting as well. So that's a great new feature they added recently.
Yeah, it is. That's one of my favorite new features as well. Just a small little feature that we added in, but helps a ton. And then yeah, kind of on that note, with Wakelet Live, you saw a lot of features coming out very soon. They're all kind of from you guys, from the educators. So if you see anything on Wakelet that you'd like to improve or suggest a bit of feedback, please do, whether it's in this chat, whether it's on Wakelet to our email, just please let us know if there are any kind of issues or anything that'll make your Wakelet experience just a tiny bit better. We want to hear that as well. So yeah, I'm just looking through the chat. Any more questions, please ask them in the chat and the Q&A box. Like I said, we've got 4 awesome educators here who are willing to answer any questions. They're Wakelet experts, so please ask away.
I just
Amy.
saw
Margaret. How do you use Wakelet for back to school night presentation? And we didn't use it for back to school night, but one way, and this was not my original idea whatsoever. I wish I could remember who was the first to share it. We used Wakelet to introduce our teachers to our community ahead of school starting. And so every grade level, you could add something from Flipgrid into it, but that was a way for our students to see teachers' faces and get to know their teachers. But yeah, if you've used it for back to school night, I would love to hear an idea about that.
Yeah, I love that idea, especially now with the remote learning. Who knows how, September is going to look. This might be good to send out over the summer. I always love getting those, the snail mail, getting cards from the teacher. But now with just this one link, you could virtually meet every teacher.
Yeah. Someone's asking if we can please show how to use the mood board. I do have one for the mood board. Let's see. So here's a collection that I made for my teachers for home learning. And I changed it to the mood board view because I just thought it looked a lot better than standing next. And so I made sure that the pictures were included, but it's definitely here. Let's see, where's the option?
You go to edit collection and it'll be inside of there.
There it is, thank you. So once you're here in edit collection, you would come here to change layout, and then you have your options. So again, it was just so that way my teachers could have a different visual and kind of see things in a different light.
Letitia, can you stay on your board? I want to explain something. Each of these links that you put in, they have generated images that come with them. Sometimes they don't have images. Sometimes you don't like the image. You can change whatever image is there, and also the text. So for my own kids at home, this summer, I created a Wakelet collection for them. And I put in fun things for them to do. So when they have downtime, I could say, yeah, you can go on your Wakelet. and all 3 of my kids have access to this one Wakelet. And I will put in their usernames and passwords right under here for just my 3 kids at home, so they don't have to keep asking me questions. I can change the description and I can change the image.
Yeah, so you'll see like this link when I brought it in, it says 1 of 5. Let's let you know that it was able to pull or to see like 5 different images, and I could scroll through to decide which one I want to be as my cover.
It's really nice as you're doing it, you can see it saying saving and changing saved in the upper right.
Yes.
Really nice.
And then again, what Christina said, like I could change the title, I could go ahead and change the information that's here, and then click done, and now it's part of what's there.
Awesome. That's a great point, Christina. And Brad, did you have something to say before?
Yeah, just that Leticia, if you want to stay there for 1 second, something that's really nice is you can see it's unlisted. Leticia has that as unlisted, meaning she shared it with others, but it's not something maybe you want to share with everybody, but you want to share with certain people. Well, you could always change that. So you can see public, everybody can view it. So if they search for it, they could find it. Or maybe you just want to keep some things private, so you can just keep it private and no one would be able to access it. So I just wanted to point that out. That's another one that's really just nice and simple, but it's a great feature.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I think this kind of session was to do with kind of idea sharing, examples, inspiration. But I think now we're going to more like tips and tricks. So do you have any kind of more tips and tricks? Obviously, you deal with educators every single day. Is there kind of like one thing that you always tell them about Wakelet, like a tip and trick, like you can edit the items when they're added into a collection? Do you have anything that you'd like to share with the attendees today?
Like I shared earlier, if you love Buncee like myself and Leticia and Christina, and I don't know if Brad uses it, but you should if you don't. I love the trick.
Come over, Brad.
The trick to you can directly embed a Buncee in a Wakelet. Like my favorite part of Buncee are the animations, and so when you download a Buncee, of course it locks those, but you can actually just copy and paste a link to it in a Wakelet, and you can see all, like you saw my stars earlier, you can see all the moving pieces. So that's a trick that I love to share for users.
Another one that I use a lot, and I will go to Buncee, I promise, Amy, I promise, I'll do it this summer. So whenever I am, there's certain things maybe you want to share. Maybe it's maybe teach 5th grade social studies, and you want to share it with everyone else. But maybe they want to make it their own. If you enable the ability to copy, that's nice because people could copy your collection, but then they could go ahead and add it on their own. You know, maybe remove some things or add some things to kind of personalize it. So the enabling copy feature is another really nice one.
Yeah, Air Integration. She has the most fantastic newsletter templates. I copied them all, and they're for every single month, and that's what we use on our campus for our newsletters.
Oh, someone's asking if we can show that copy feature. So I'll show you like how I did it with my newsletters. Let's see. I go to edit, right? Yeah. So I'm here in the editing part, and then I can click on enable copy. And then click done. Right. And then for myself, I was going to go ahead and copy this. I can rename it. I'm just going to put test, so I'll remember to erase it later. And then it's successfully copied. And so now I can go home, and where are you? Where to go?
Should be at the top. If you just hit refresh, it should be
right.
right at the top.
It should always come to the top.
Yeah, I think it's because
we're
on
Zoom.
I don't think
there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
So now I have the copy that I want. I'm going to click edit collection. And now I can go in and decide, like I said, with my newsletters, I can like swap out these images if that's not what I want. But when I have new information, and all I have to do is click the edit button, and then it's there for me to change.
Mhm.
And when you get the Wakelet that Amy made for this presentation, the digital reading log in there actually is copyable. So you can copy that, and you can also give it to your students to copy that, and then just take out whatever you don't want.
One more quick one I want to point out is the ability to search. So you can see right up in there, you can search your own collections, but then you can also search for others. So if there's something revolving around, whatever it is you're interested in, you can go ahead and search for it, and try to find some things that maybe interesting. Maybe it's about coding, maybe, whatever it may be, but you can search for those that have shared the collections and made them public. So you can go ahead and search through that library, if you will.
Awesome. Well, I think, as Christina mentioned, them and the resources, we will be sharing all these amazing examples that have been shown over this past hour. Obviously, there's a lot of, I'm speaking for everyone here when I say this, myself and everyone. There's so many ideas there that I think people will go away from this straight away using the examples you've shown, whether that's digital reading log, whether they'll be making notes at conferences like Wake Community Week. I just love how varied the examples were. So thank you so much for sharing all of them, everyone. And yeah, so it's coming to the end, sadly. Like I said, it has been such an amazing session sharing these such great examples. But yeah, it doesn't end here. You can always see the recording of this session. And like I said, the resources will be shared with you after this as well. So yeah, you can always check it out whenever you like. Come back to these amazing examples shared by 4 awesome educators. And yeah, this has been the session. What we'll do, guys, is we'll mute our videos and our mics, and we'll keep the chat open for another 5 or 10 minutes, just because I know people have a lot of questions they want answered. So yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, I want to say thank you from myself and the team for joining today's session, and a big thank you to Leticia, Brad, Amy, and Christina. Honestly, those examples you shared are so inspiring for myself, but then obviously hundreds now of educators who are watching. So a big thank you all for joining and creating this amazing presentation. And again, thank you everyone for joining as well. Take an hour out of your day. I know it's a pretty difficult time at the minute. So take an hour out of your day to kind of educate yourselves on how you can use Wakelet and obviously with your students in the future. It means a lot to us here at Wakelet. So thank you very much for that. And like I said, we'll send over a recording of this session. We'll send over the resources. And also as a thank you, we'll send over a certificate of attendance as well. So hopefully that'll be with you in the next 24 hours. But yeah, a huge thank you for everyone here at Wakelet for joining, but then especially to the speakers. Such a great session. And yeah, any questions, just get them in the chat box now while we keep the chat open. So yeah, thank you from me. Any last words from anyone?
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Go team.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Big
Such an
hugs.
amazing team.
Yeah. Thank you,
Perfect.
guys.
Well, thank you everyone. See you soon.